What is going on, guys? So had a funeral this morning. I also went and tedded hay first thing this morning. Sorry if I sound a little bit stuffy. My allergies, not so good. I love the smell of alfalfa, but it tears me up. Got that tedded this morning, did the 20 acres in an hour and a half. That 4-basket tedder, it's honestly great. So it's a Saturday afternoon right now. I'm gonna go hook this thing up to the rake. Gonna finish leveling out the floor of the hoop building and then go get the baler hooked up. Okay guys, got it unfolded, everything appears to be ready to go. Dad looked it over and greased it last fall. I am gonna find a few long zip ties to put on some of these where they popped off, but for the most part we're rip-roaring and ready to go. Oh, and one of you commented that the turnbuckles on these like to break. If that becomes an issue, we don't need to worry about having these because these things are made only a few minutes from where we live and they have those turnbuckles, so not going to be a big deal at all. It looks like at one point this tongue had been shorter and then they lengthened it out. I don't know if that was for shipping. I'm not necessarily sure, but we'll see. We'll see if we need to make it shorter or if it works how it is. All I know is this is one wide rake. It'll work out nicely. Also won't feel like we're gonna knock the legs off of our rake every time we go through a ditch anymore. The main restriction with this rake's gonna be right here. We've got this tandem axle and that back tire. So the restriction point will be if we have too much hay that it starts to ball up going between that wheel and that tire, then we'll have to start picking these up. So it's a 12-wheel rake minus the center kicker. So it's 12 wheels, and we can make it an 8-wheel rake or a 10-wheel rake by picking these up. Right now, we've got the first 2 picked up. We'll probably run that way for first cutting, and then second cutting we'll drop the next 2. Well, about 60 zip ties later, I have all these wind guards properly secured. You might be wondering what these flat plates are. Well, these right here keep the wind from blowing the hay or corn shucks up against the wheel and holding it there. Because if you're raking on a windy day, it can blow them up against there and you'll just have like a massive amount of hay stuck to that wheel. So these make it not stick and fall off. They actually work pretty well. All right, we've got the rake over here at John's and the tractor fueled up. I'm really looking forward to using this rake because, well, with wet hay it doesn't really matter that much, but with dry hay you want to get it all fluffed up and maybe sit there for another hour or so just to get everything aerated out. In our old rake we used to have to go down and then come back grabbing half the windrow and grabbing half new to rake the windrow all into an unraked spot. That center kicker should resolve most of that. So we got a larger rake and a center kicker, so raking should go much quicker now, because I actually used to be able to keep up with the rake with the baler. That shouldn't be the case anymore. But hopefully it'll work out very nicely. The tedder did, so Gonna go home and start working on the hoop building floor. One thing I forgot to tell you guys is that Dad actually did finish planting corn. We finished planting corn about a week and a half ago now. It's one of them things, doing a little bit in between rain showers, and finally got it done. So yeah, that's why we're making hay right now and not planting. Although it'd be still borderline whether or not to plant, but we're done, so we don't have to worry about that. Look at that pretty hay. Dad's probably regretting buying a new truck, because I used to like make a point of never driving the rolling trash can, and now I just drive his truck around the farm, so he's probably regretting it. Oh well. Sunday afternoon after church. Buddies and I got together for a little bit, and now I'm going over to Rake hay. I'm going to use the new HHR 12 we got, the hybrid hay runner 12, and gonna see how it works. I'm at least gonna get the 2 heavy fields raked up. Dad might rake the hay, the light hay, tomorrow while I'm baling, but I'm at least gonna get the heavy stuff raked up so it gets kind of up there and starts to dry out a little bit more. You can see the humidity is a little bit higher today and tomorrow than it was the first few days, but I think we're pretty good. They pushed the rain back until Tuesday now, so if worst comes to worst, finish baling Tuesday morning. Hopefully we'll be done before then, though. It's not a matter of whether or not we can get it baled, it's just more when is it going to be fit. So let's get over to John's and get that thing fired up. Okay, so now I'm in a field that is just hay and it's a lot thinner, so I'm gonna drop the 12th wheel on each side just to help it go a little bit faster and get a bigger windrow. All right, guys, finished raking the 3 fields that I was doing today, and all in all, I like the rake. I can see why a couple years after this one was built, they changed the double kicker to a single kicker, because those kicker wheels kind of fight against each other a little bit. But all in all, I like it a lot. It rakes a lot faster. I did have a couple issues with it plugging, but that was because I was raking in rows. I had all 12 wheels down. I was raking in rows and a bottom turning, and it grabbed another windrow, and that was the result. But that honestly is to be expected. All I did was picked up the kicker wheel and kept on driving. So all in all, pretty good.